Hello BookTube, my name is Sarah and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with my February 2018 TBR. So buckle up guys, I have got 18 books on my TBR for February. I had 19 books on my TBR for January and I have finished them all. Okay, I shouldn't say that. At the time of filming this, I have the audiobook I'm listening to and the ebook I'm reading, and I have one more audiobook to finish. But again, as of the time of filming this, I should definitely be able to get those all done. It should not be a problem at all. So 19 books on my January TBR, and I got them all done. 18 on my February TBR, and I'm losing essentially 3 days because there's only 28 days in February. And none of these books are novellas. 2 of the books in January were novellas, so I might be taking on a bit more than I can handle, but we shall see. So let's jump in and get started. I will start off, of course, with my RRC Monthly Challenge for February of 2018. And let me go through the categories. Oh, for those of you who might be new to my channel, the RRC is the Romance Readers Reading Group on Goodreads. And every month they do a monthly challenge where they give you 10 different categories and you need to find books that fit into those categories to read. So that's what this is. Category number 1, F is for February. Read a book that starts with F or a book whose author's first or last name starts with F. And the book that I picked is Cowboy Behind the Badge by Delores Fossen, F. This is book number 2 in the Sweetwater Ranch series, and I'll be reading this one on ebook. I will actually be getting this one from my library. I did say one of my goals for this year was to really utilize my library. And I didn't have a copy of this book. It's the next in a series that I wanted to read. Excuse me. And I could have very easily gone and got it with my Harlequin points, but I thought, you know what, let's see if it's available at the library. And it is. And the cool thing about the Toronto Public Library is with the Harlequin books is they buy the bundles, the ebook bundles. So I've got actually the 4 books, but I'm only going to be reading the 1, which is, it's kind of nice that you can pick and choose and then, you know, send it on back. The next challenge is Olympian Gods and Goddesses. For this month it's Apollo. And it says, Apollo was the son of Leto and Zeus. He was born on the island of Delos. He and his twin sister Artemis, also an Olympian, shared an aptitude for archery. The 9 muses were companions of his. They were the goddesses known for inspiring art and music. It says, read a book featuring siblings, bonus points if there's a set of twins. Or it says, read a book that was listed as being inspirational or a character needs inspiration or encouragement to do something. And the book that I'm actually reading is Sisters in Love by Melissa Foster. This is book number 1 in the Love and Bloom series. And of the sub-series within the Love and Bloom series, this is the first book in the Snow Sister series. This is being narrated on audio by B.J. Harrison. I'm getting this one from the Audible Romance subscription. And this is a story about, it's just a contemporary romance story, but it does feature sisters. It's a 3-book, the Snow Sisters are a 3-book series about the 3 sisters. So, yeah, looking forward to that one. Category number 3 is the Featured Author Challenge, and that's Elisabeth Naughton. And it says read a book by her or a book with her, either her first or last name. It also gives you some other criteria, but I am really trying to go with the featured author. So I am reading by her Stolen Fury, and I'm getting this one as part of the Audible Romance package as well. This is book number 1 in the Stolen series, and it's being narrated on audio by Elizabeth Wiley. This is a romantic suspense novel, and it's about, it sounds like it's about archaeology and some artifact and somebody's after her. It does sound really good. The ratings on Goodreads are quite good, and I'm very much actually looking forward to this one. The next category is number 4, Shortest Month. February is the only month to have a length less than 30 days and is the only month that can pass with no full moon, which is actually happening this year. And it says read a novella or an anthology or a book that has less than 150 pages. Or read a book with a moon or a nighttime scene on the cover. I'm going with a relatively shorter book. I think it's only got 220 pages, but there's also a night scene on the cover. And I know it's a nighttime scene because he's holding a flashlight. That's the way my brain works. And the book is Duty Bound Guardian by Terri Reid. This is book number 2 in the Capital Canine Unit series. I really did go through my list of series that I'm trying to work my way through and trying to slot in books. Just because I really want to get through some of these series. And a lot of these are also ones that are on my Stacking the Series challenge for 2018. So yeah, so this one is a love-inspired suspense novel, so it should be really good. Category number 5, Groundhog Day, which is February 2nd. A groundhog predicts if there will be 6 more weeks of winter. Read a book set in winter or a book that has weather elements, either sunshine, rain, snow, etc. on the cover. Or read a historical, futuristic, non-contemporary genre, or reread an old favorite. This one, if you look at the cover, there are mountains, and there is snow on those mountains. So I'm counting this one. This is The Hidden by Heather Graham. This is book number 17 in the Crew of Hunters series, and it's being narrated on audio by Phil Giante. This one takes place in Colorado, so you know there's going to be a snow element in there. I'm pretty sure, at least, as I said, there is snow on those mountains. Category number 6 is Super Bowl Sunday, which is February the 4th this year. The NFL championship game is set to be played in Minneapolis and is the most watched TV event of the year. I did not know that. Read a sports-themed book that features either athletes, sportscasters, sports reporters, or agents. Read a story where the characters are a musician or involved in the entertainment or advertising industry. The book that I'm going to be reading is Rock Hard by Nalini Singh. I always have a hard time saying her name. This is another one that I'm getting from the Audible Romance package. It is book number 2 in the Rock Kiss series, and this is being narrated on audio by Justine O'Keefe. This is about a man who, I believe he's a rugby player, and he falls in love with a very shy, quiet girl. So I read the first book in the series, I think, which was called Rock Kiss last year, and it was all right. Very, very spicy. But I am looking forward to reading this one. Category number 7 is Mardi Gras, which takes place on the 13th of February. Nowhere on the planet is Fat Tuesday celebrated more than on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Fun fact, New Orleans is on my bucket list of places to go. The day is celebrated with festivities and parades and, of course, much food and drink. While in New Orleans, a big tradition is in wearing Mardi Gras beads and giving them to others. Read a book set in New Orleans or has a celebration of some kind in the storyline. Or read a book with a colorful cover, 3 or more colors, or has some beads or masks on the cover. And the book that I'm actually reading, I'm very excited to finally get to, is Easy Love by Kristen Proby. Again, another one from the Audible Romance package, but I do actually have a copy of this one on audio that I had bought a couple years ago on deal. And it is book number 1 in the Bordeaux series. And this is narrated on audio by Sebastian York and Rachel Fugolini. I think I'm saying her name correctly. I apologize. This is set in New Orleans, and I believe it's a new adult romance. Like I said, I have owned this on audio for years, and I've yet to get to it, and I'm super excited to finally get to read a Kristen Proby as well, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Next one, category number 8, Valentine's Day, of course on February 14th, a day that represents romantic love and the expression of love or gratitude. Read a romance book or a book that has predominantly Valentine theme either in the title or on the cover. The book that I'm reading, The Valentine Quest by Melissa McClone. This is book number 5 at the Love at the Chocolate Shop. So excited to fit this one in, and yeah, it fits the category perfectly. Category number 9 is Chinese New Year, which is February the 16th, and this year is the Year of the Dog. It says, celebrated as the start of the new year in Chinese communities. The dog is the 11th animal in the Chinese zodiac and is the symbol of loyalty and honesty. Read a book where the characters have a new beginning or a second chance. Read a book that is number 11 in a series or features a pet of some kind. Bonus points if it's a dog. Double bonus points if it's a puppy. The book that I'm reading is about a dog by Jenna McKinlay, another one from the Audible Romance package. This is book number 1 in the Bluff Point series, and it's being narrated on audio by Allison Ryan. I'm excited about this one. This is a fairly, I don't know if it's a newer release, but it's a book that I've only just seen recently. The cover is adorable. It's a contemporary romance that features a dog, and I'm sure it's going to be adorable, and I'm really going to enjoy it, and I cannot wait to read it. Category number 10, Reader's Choice. Read any book of your choice. So what I essentially did for this one was I did the whole, close my eyes and point at the list of series that I'm slowly working my way through. And the book that came up is Lawman Protection by Cindi Myers. This is book number 2 in the Ranger Brigade. This is a Harlequin intrigue novel, so it's a romantic suspense. Very much looking forward to continuing on with this series. So those are all the ones for the Triple RC Challenge. Let's jump into all the other books that I plan on reading. So if you guys have been watching my channel for a little while, you already know what this book is. This was my TBR jar pick for February, and that is Blueberry Muffin Murder by Joanne Fluke. This is book number 3 in the Hannah Swenson series, and it's narrated on audio by Suzanne Toren. So I'm looking forward to this one. This is a really, really cute, cozy mystery series. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. The next few challenges here that I am doing, these are for my What to Read in 2018, which is the big 42 book challenge that I am doing this year through the, I believe this is through the A Million More Pages group on Goodreads. I will link it in the description box below because you can jump in at any time. And essentially they give you, I think it's 25 prompts. And some of the prompts have more than one book that you can pick, meaning like, you know, for example, you know, read a book by your favorite author. There could be 3 different ones that you could do that for. Do you know what I mean? There's 42 books in total, but 25 actual challenges. So I kind of picked and chose. I literally did a random number generator to decide which ones I'm going to do this month. So here they are. The first one is for task number 19, which was pick a list on Listopia and read a book off of it. That's it. And the book that I picked for this one is The Study of Seduction by Sabrina Jeffries. This one is available also on the Audible Romance package. It's book number 2 in the Sinful Suitors series, and it's narrated on audio by Beverly A. Crick, who narrated the first one as well, and I listened to that one last year, and I really enjoyed it. This is a Regency-style romance. They're a little bit hotter, a little bit more spicy than the norm, and I really enjoyed the first one, and I'm very much looking forward to reading this one as well. The next one is for task number 13, which was sort your TBR to show 50 books per page and sort by number of pages, shortest to longest. And pick, essentially you're picking one of the shorter books on your TBR. This one isn't on my TBR yet because I literally only put books on my TBR that I actually own a copy of. But this one's on pre-order. I cannot wait to read it. And when I looked at the page count, I'm like, all right, it's on the shorter side. It's just under 200 pages. I'm going to allow it. And that book is Off Limits by Clare Connelly. This is the first, one of the first books, I don't know if it's the first book, in the Harlequin Nude Dare series, which is an erotic series. So I'm very, very much looking forward to getting to this one this month. I was so happy I found a place to put it into my TBR. And the last one is task number 20, which is favorite authors. Supposedly you can like tag authors as your favorites on Goodreads. I did not know this. So because I hadn't already done that, I just picked 2 authors that I really liked and am just reading 2 books by them, 1 book each. So the first one is Law and Disorder by Heather Graham. This is the first book in the Finnegan Connection. This is a Harlequin intrigue book. It is available on the Audible Romance package, but I am going to read it as an ebook because I do have a copy of it as an ebook, and I think I have more than enough audiobooks this month to get through. So, and the intrigue novels are like right a little over 200 pages, so relatively easy read. The next one is Marriage Made in Shame by Sophia James. I will also be reading this one on ebook, and this is book number 2 in the Penniless Lords series. So happy to get through this series as well. This is a series which is a nice bit of a twist, where it's the women have money, like they come from money, and essentially the lords are trying to build back up their estates and things like that, so they need to marry into wealth. So that's the basis behind this series. Next up, the Harlequin Romance Monthly Theme Reading Club, which is hosted by Sissy over at the Romance Queen of BookTube. And of course, February's theme is Valentine's Day, so the book I'm going to be reading is A Valentine for the Cowboy by Rebecca Winters. This is book number 1 in the Sapphire Mountain Cowboy series. I literally typed in Harlequin and Valentines in the Google search bar until I found searched until I found a Harlequin book that had Valentines in the cover, or in the title, and wasn't like halfway through a series. So, because you guys know me, I gotta read my series in order. And this one popped up, and my library has a copy of it, so I will be listening to it, or reading it, excuse me, on ebook that way. And last but not least, out of all this insane amount of books I'm reading this month, is the Pinkett For Me challenge for February. I was stalking the list for them to announce the groupings because I was so excited to see what books I was going to be reading in February. So, as I did in January, I'm doing this again. I picked one book that my picky recommended to me from my own TBR, and then one that she recommended to me that was not anywhere on my TBR, on any of my TBR on Goodreads. So the one that was already on my TBR, the category for this one was a book that had to be published in February. And the book that I'm going to be reading is One More Kiss by Samantha Chase, another one available on the Audible Romance package. This is book number 1 in the Shaughnessy Brothers Band on the Run series. and it's being narrated on audio by Christopher Kipanik, I think, and Julia Makiko, I think. I'm sorry, I'm butchering those names horribly. I do apologize. A contemporary romance about a guy in a band. Sounds like a lot of fun. And the one that she recommended to me, the category for this one, was a book that had to be like a police officer, firefighter, or some sort of other government official in the book. And she recommended Romancing the Duke by Tessa Dare. I've been wanting to read Tessa Dare for quite some time. I hear a lot of other booktubers talking about her, and I'm very, very excited to read this one. Another one from the Audible Romance package. And this is the first book in the Castles Ever After series, and it's narrated on audio by Carmen Rose. So it sounds like it's really good. I saw somewhere it might even be like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but I'm not absolutely certain. I may have read that about something else. I don't know. But yeah, I'm really excited to try out a Tessa Dare novel. So anyway, guys, that is it for my crazy, insane February TBR. Can I get through them all? We shall see. It really shouldn't be too bad. It's almost a complete split between audio and ebooks. And the ebooks themselves are not terribly long. They're all around 200 pages. So I think I've got like 8 ebooks. So that should be relatively easy for me to get through. And then the audio, I do tend to listen to at 2 times speed. So they should be relatively quick to get through. And I don't think any of those are terribly long. I think the longest one is like at 11 hours. But most of them are coming in around 9 hours. So that's not too bad. But anyway, guys, let me know, is there anything, what's on your TBR for February? Or are you interested in any of these books? Yeah, and until my next video, guys, take care and happy reading. Bye.